This next conversation is called Cultivate. Now, the purpose of Cultivate is to do recon on your best relationships. Because here's a fascinating theory, right? Your client has other relationships with other people. He may even have relationships with competitive people. It behooves you to know about that other relationship, like what that person does best and what they can do to improve, because that could be potential ammunition to find a chink in that armor so you can actually get into that relationship. That's one level. And then there's another level, is that you can actually use that information to deepen the relationship that you already have. Recon goes a long way. So once again, this is the Cultivate conversation. We're trying to find out about the competition, if there is some. Now we're going to play a game. We're going to play a little bit here. Lauren's going to be my client, and there's going to be another coach, a competitive coach involved. Okay. Lauren, as you know from our other conversation, I consider you one of my best relationships. As a matter of fact, one of my most important relationships. And it's my commitment to my business, right, that I'm a student of it. Right? I'm very interested in about other relationships that are important to you. So I know you have another coach named Roger. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about him?
Sure.
Sure, so yes, you don't mind?
No, I don't mind.
Oh, excellent. So what do you like best about Roger?
One, I liked Roger's experience, and he had started several businesses, brought some really successful ones to the levels of success that they've reached. Mm-hmm. So I'm confident in his ability. That's probably the biggest thing that I liked about.
So it's his experience with building other organizations that you truly liked.
Right.
Okay. What else?
I liked his, and you do this as well, the free flow process that is very individualized. It's not like he's following a set of instructions, mm-hmm. but he's clear in what needs to happen.
So you feel it's a personalized approach and that it's unique to you.
Exactly.
Much like what we do together.
Absolutely.
Got it. What could Roger do to improve his business?
I think part of it is kind of giving us an idea of where things are going, so we know kind of his thought process, where he's taking us.
So more direction, or is it more of agenda items, or are you kind of...
Giving me the forecast, like where he sees things we need to work on, where he sees he's going to be taking us, or that kind of the next steps.
So in a way he's personalizing it for you, but you personally are just not clear on what that next step is, so it kind of leaves you a little discombobulated.
Yeah,
maybe?
Because one of the things that you do is you look at what my objectives are, and then you have an idea of the path that I should take. Now that path can easily be manipulated or adjusted given what comes up in our conversations, but you have an idea, given what my objectives are, where I need to go.
Right. So kind of Roger's working on his own particular agenda to move forward in his process, while what we're doing is making it much more personal and pertinent to you.
Exactly.
Excellent. I really appreciate that feedback, and I thank you for your openness.
Great.
So notice there's a couple things that I did. Right, it's a fascinating thing about what you like best, right? What you like best about Roger was that his experience with other clients. Notice I did not start saying, "Ooh, I have experience too. What about this? What about that? What about the other thing?" I didn't say that, but I did file that away, because what you're also going to be doing is taking notes. So now we know what's important to Lauren is experience. So that means in the next couple of weeks she's going to get letters from me or case studies from me showing my overwhelming amount of experience and how great I am, right? And also notice the whole approach, right? This my approach to business. We got to her to articulate that, right? And notice a subtle little shift I put in with Roger, right? That Roger's kind of doing this free-form thing, but he's not clearing what the next steps are. But with us, we're working those objectives, right? So it's got to pay attention to the conversation, take nothing personal, get real information, record all that stuff, and then see how you can use it to your advantage. What's important to Lauren is experience.
And I think the other thing too that's important to point out is, just because your client says something that they like about the competition, that doesn't mean that they don't also see that in you. There were many things that I liked about Roger that Ken also does. But our tendency is, oh, you like that and that person, then therefore our insecurity comes up. That means I'm not doing that, and that's not true. It's in the best interest is to really listen and file the stuff away and then act on it down the line. Because I guarantee that your competition's not having this conversation with these clients.
Right, I just need one more point too, that Lauren was agenda driven. She wanted to know where she was in the process. Right, so next time I talk to her, I'm going to make sure that she does know where she is in my own personal process. Once again, strengthening our relationship simply because I asked questions and I was willing to make myself vulnerable. Because God forbid, what if he said that Roger was the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And I would, maybe if I wasn't trained, I would say, oh my God, I'm going to lose my business to her. But since I am trained, I would have asked, well, in what way? Why is he the greatest thing since sliced bread? Because once I get that answer, that means I'll take that answer and incorporate it into my business, so I too become the greatest thing since sliced bread.